Uh, hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are all over the world. Welcome. It's a holiday season here in Lagos, Nigeria. So we've been at home resting and chilling out all day with online meetings and family time, bonding time. So let's spread the word around. It's going to be an amazing session tonight. I'm going to be live with Stephen Akintayo. He's been in the news for a while now. He was trending weeks ago. And tonight we're just going to have an amazing chat together. So we decided to come up with different topics of tonight's discussion. $18,000 mentorship. Is it really worth it? People are just angry at mentorship. Then all manner of bloggers, all manner of podcasts, all manner of attacks. So Stephen Akitayo, is he a coach or is he a con man? And then heart to heart with Stephen Akitayo. Stephen Akitayo, explain yourself. So we're here today and I'm bringing him on board to just spend time so that we can have a chat. Because as someone in the world of business, I understand that there are a lot of things that people don't understand when it comes to business. And sometimes, because of the way things go in our world today, instead of following the innocent until proven guilty, we have what we call guilty, come and prove yourself innocent. And that's the way things are for many people today in our world. The social media world has become a very, murky water. And then, because of the economic climate and the challenges in our world today, we have so many people that have lost money to all kinds of schemes and scams. And recently, we had the CBEX experience, over $1 billion lost to CBEX. And we also have a lot of people that have had issues with all kinds of real estate companies since COVID, post COVID. We've had all kinds of issues with developers that have not been able to deliver. We've had crises with different real estate companies with reference to demolitions, with reference to government changing the goalposts in places like the um, Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, the Lekki axis, the demolitions on all the waterways. So it's been a lot, and then we've had all kinds of cries in the public domain also of different real estate companies that have collected money from people, but they are not able to deliver. They are not able to, allocate people. We've also had issues with all kinds of real estate companies that have come up with all kinds of investment scheme that have not been able to deliver on the promises. So a lot of things are out there. Different people are facing different issues. And as someone that is in the marketplace, as someone that is out there, I know that a lot of people have lost money, but a lot of developers and a lot of companies and entrepreneurs have also genuinely gone into crisis because every businessman is not immune to the economic environment that we are in right now. And like I always say, in the world of business, you can do everything right and still be wrong. Why? Because of the peculiarities of our environment. However, I believe that the law of integrity demands that there will be full disclosure and open communication because adversity is the true test of character. And that's why I've decided that I'll bring in Stephen so that we can just have time and then ask those difficult questions and then also give him an opportunity to be able to share different things with us and just enlighten people, especially, when it comes to the issue of coaching and mentorship. I've said it over and over again that if you know better, you do better. And the amount you're willing to spend on yourself really determines how much value you place on yourself because the cost of ignorance is definitely more than the cost of knowledge. If you end up in trouble or you end up making financial mistake, you'll be amazed to realize that the money you're going to lose by virtue of those mistakes will be more. From time to time, I have my own mentorship platform, and people pay, and we have members. I'm the global president of the Billionaires Conclave, and we have members in over 25 countries on 5 continents, now 6 continents. And I know that when I do events sometimes and we do the publicity, and then people see the cost, they're like, it's too expensive. How do you expect people to afford this kind of money in this economy? And then I'm like, if you can't afford it, it's not for you. The advert is not for you. But we also do free events all over the world. And when we do free events, we don't see people saying, "Oh, thank you, sir, for making it free." As a matter of fact, when you do free events, what you will hear is, if you are doing the free events in Lagos, you hear, "When are you coming to Kaduna?" When you go to Kaduna, "When are you coming to Gombe?" So you realize that whether you do free or you do paid, you cannot please everybody. But every product, every service is not for every customer. So I believe Stephen must be joining me now. So I want to bring him on board, and then we'll now begin to take it from there. So you can spread the word around on different platforms. We're on Facebook. Yes, so the come on, Steve, come and explain yourself.
18K, 18K man, you know, $80,000.
What the dollar is in this economy? Eh? So you help people, Are you coach or
uh, it's good to be here. I think your voice is coming in and going. I don't know whether it's from my end or it's from your end.
okay? So can you
I
hear me
can hear
clearly now?
you. Yes, better now. Yes.
A few weeks ago, I
Yeah.
was in my office. Before you know it, my phone was blowing up. I was, and later my office staff came. "Sir, did you get this message that something is happening online, that they are calling your name?" Or I said, "My name? What did I do?" Akintayo, I said, "What is even Akintayo do?" They showed those programs. They are all, I say, okay, oh. So I got different. This man, Stephen Akitayo, is it not your boy? You people should talk to him. He has defrauded people. I say, defrauded. I called that. I say, "Come, what's happening?" I'm getting messages. To, and then I've seen a lot of things, and they've tagged me on a lot of things, different bloggers, different podcasts. And then before you know it, you will mention my name. I say, "This one, they are mentioning my name now. What did I do? Where is Stephen? That you are in trouble like this. You need to come and explain yourself." Oh. So, what is dollar mentorship thing about? I don't understand, because me, I don't follow the social media thing. So, how did this whole thing start? Who did you offend? How did you get into that? Say
I
yourself.
like I like the word. Who did I offend? You know, because obviously it looked like I offended somebody somewhere. You know, so for once this story is very funny. So we have a trip we normally do. It's our retreat, and I think you've spoken for us in some of them. By the way, I have cold, so my voice is a bit different. And so GTEx Holding is quite big. We have more than 10 subsidiaries. But the people who manage my brand are called Akintayo Foundation. And so typically when we do those trips, a lot of our leaders go. So they were like, look, we did a conference called Business Growth Conference, Abuja. We want to, go to Doha. So I said, well, which of my programs do you guys want to sell to raise the funds? They said, well, we can sell your mentorship program, but we want to give discounts so that we can get enough people to come. I said, well, no problem. I mean, you guys want to have all expense paid trip to Doha, no wala. And so they did the campaign, but I was on my way already out of the country. So I think I got to Doha late in the night. I slept off. By the next morning, the same way you are receiving call is the same way me too I started receiving calls. So of course, when I checked social media, I saw that the post they made, the coaching program was $20,000, and we have had countless of testimonies. I mean, you've facilitated some of those retreats with many of my mentees, and these people have gotten a tremendous result. Many of them started from nothing. They are multi-billionaires, doing well. They are not complaining. In fact, the Doha event, some of them were there, even shared their story of the impact of the mentorship. But for some strange reasons, people blew it out of proportion. And in an attempt to then explain to them, they started looking for all manner of fake news here and there. I mean, including fake news. Where we had one, a gentle guy had written a blog post, sponsored a blog post 3 years ago, where he claimed he got court order to freeze our criminal enterprise. He even went to Kirikiri for it. Because of course, we had to report him. The police are, oh yeah, come and explain. The court said, oh yeah, explain where, because even the court order was fake. And Nigeria is messy. Oh. Nigeria is messy, right? So, and this had happened 3 years ago. All those stories, they started copying it just to justify the anger against 18K. You know how you want to say, but boy, don't buy 18K, what 18K? See what they said about him. See your manner, see, it was just anything you can just cook up to discredit. Some said EFCC had arrested me for 500 million, I bailed myself. There was nothing I did not read. But my own view, I mean, a lot of my mentors were just saying to me, is a sign of an open door. It's just the beginning of something new to come. And I want to appreciate, and it's important to have the right, because one of the powerful things with me is that I don't preach what I don't practice. I believe strongly in mentorship, but I genuinely have great mentors. And I don't joke with my relationship with them. And I can tell you, all of them were just full of prayers. In fact, that Friday, Bishop Oyedepo called me, prayed, gave counsel. Dr. Cosmos called, gave counsel, and pray. In fact, for Dr. Cosmos, he was just sending me the reply he was sending to people, who were messaging him to say, what nonsense are you people talking about? The man has the right to charge what he charges for the value he offers. So what are you people talking about? But it's obvious that, I mean, I mean, people have called me here and there. There's a lot of gang up against you. There are a lot of people. Yeah, but for me, I'm an eagle for a reason. These things help me to fly. I do. These things just, I mean, in the midst of things like this is when I thrive the more. I have always breakthrough in crisis. I mean, our biggest expansion always, in fact, anytime there's a crisis, it is a sign God is telling me to expand more. Right. So for me, it's just fun. And I'm excited about the whole thing. Because people are just giving us free publicity, free. There was one woman who went to start doing YouTube video. I mean, she's done countless against Daddy Gio, against Bishop Oyedepo, against Bishop Abiy. I think they said she's even done against you. And when the 18K saga was trending, and our management had visited Bishop Oyedepo, I think, for a month or so before that time. So some of the feedback I got was she was now excited that, hey, if I couldn't get these people, this is one of their boys. Let's go hard. And what's funny is that you can't go hard against a businessman the way you go hard against a pastor. Because a business is capitalism. People have the right to do business, right? And charge a fair amount for what they offer. And in the case where you think they've not done you right, you have the right to go to court, and to challenge whatever it is that you disagree with them. But when you want to then drag them the way you drag pastors, you really will face the law, right? And you will, because we've dealt with a few people, and we're still going to make an example of a few other people. Now, do people have the right to complain if they think their value was not offered? They have that right. If I'm one of those that have always said, whenever I do campaign, I say, look, if you have doubts about us, don't do business with us. Now, if you do business with us and you think we didn't offer you value, you have the right to take us to get justice. It's your right. You know, I, you know, to keep a good name in Nigeria, sir, we've done refund to the tune of over £1 billion. Our group CEO doesn't always want me to say these things. We call it insult money, just in the name of, carry your money, they go, right? But hey, we're in a very tough economy in terms of Nigeria. Let's look at real estate, for example. We have most of our properties concentrated in Ibejuleki, where this coastal road is passing. At least we have 3 properties facing the coastal road. 3. 1, I've never shared this story publicly before. This particular one, it even has a gazette. Before Kurukere, we heard there's this Lebanese man that is fighting against the family that sold the land to us. Who is the Lebanese man? What company? Okay, we will come with our police, we had done fence. They will come with Ajagunbale, come with all manner, beat everybody. In fact, the last time they beat all these people who live around that area in broad daylight, right? Took over the land. At some point, I said to our team, I said, look, life is more important to me than money. We can always leave land and, more life is important. Because before you say Jack Robinson, the ballet of that place was killed on the same land. Right? Today, Pastor Olumide, guess who is on that land? The same company that is building Coastal Road. Right? Where they've kept their equipment. The excuse now is that they are renting, they are just using the place while they are doing their Coastal Road project or whatever it is. And for me, we've left the place, we've moved on. We have another one. This one, they took about 5 acres. And what did we do? We said every customer involved, we will bear the 5 acre and we'll give everybody's land is intact. However, development levy, because we've filled the place, we've done fence, we've done everything. All of you owing development levy, you have to pay, because we now need to do a new fence. We need to do a new sand filling. Okay? And, the cost of that is no longer what it used to be, because you also didn't pay it. Imagine somebody bought a land when it was 1.5 million, right? The development levy there was 500,000, but you did not pay that time. The value has gone up. And for us is to say, we did a press conference in December and said, look, we're willing to refund you. What we paid agency, all of that, we don't even mind. Our contract with you say, if you want your money back minus 30%, we don't even mind. We'll refund fully. Right? If you are not willing to pay development levy. I don't think there's anything else, any company that has good conscience will say more than that. They've lost 5 acres. All this I'm feeling, all the fence gone. Right? And they still say we will bear that. For integrity's sake, your land is intact. Okay? But for development fee, you need to pay. And to be fair to our amazing customers, over 80% comply. Over 80%. In fact, 80%? Those who even haven't paid said they will pay. We understand. We get it. We're even happy that you are that kind of person with integrity to say we are not losing our land. You are the one losing, because the way GTEx run is every land we buy, 50% we keep, right, for ourselves, for our own housing, and then 50% we sell as land. And we are not rushing. We are doing land banking, and our housing project is a long-term vision, right? We are not rushing to start building houses. They will demolish it tomorrow, or we'll borrow money from banks. We'll run into trouble. Nigeria is too volatile. And that's why we quickly expanded to Dubai, to UK and US, because we understood we needed to balance, whatever it is we're doing. Because Nigeria economy is just, and the terrain can be really vicious. And so that's it. And then you have maybe one or two persons not happy. They're not even up to 10. But this 18K matter because people wanted to justify that this guy is charging something ridiculous. How can he charge 18,000? Everything is just being blown out of proportion to justify whatever. Again, different accusations. Some said there are competitors behind it. Some say there are, different people behind. But I don't care. Wherever they are, thank you for the free adverts. We move.
Help.
I can't hear you. It's breaking
Um,
again. Okay. It just goes off and on. I don't know why. Are you using an
there are a few
earpiece?
things in the, no, 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 no. I'm hearing you.
Okay. Go ahead now. Okay.
Public domain that I want you to clear.
Yeah.
Maybe like four. Number one, Dubai. Some people are claiming that they paid you money for land or houses in Dubai. They have not seen land, they have not seen houses. You told them to invest money. Some people in London are saying they invested dollars. They put all their savings in Dubai. Nothing came out of it. Number two,
Let's start.
some
Let's
people are
speak it
claiming
one by one. Let's speak it one by one. So let's start with Dubai.
to Dubai. So what's happening with
Yeah.
Dubai? They say they gave a house.
So
They
do
invested.
first of all, again, integrity will always save you. Every person who did business with us in Dubai, our Dubai transaction were almost $100 million. Not one paid a dime to our company account. Not one. Because for us in Dubai, we are not the developers, right? What we do is we invest, get rental income. We also help people buy and then rent it out and help them out with getting rental income. Not one property paid a dime to our account. And I remember then when we were open, the management were saying, sir, some of these people wanted to buy, don't have Naira. I mean, don't have dirhams. Dirhams is what we spend in Dubai. So as a result, can we be changing money? I said, no. I said, everybody must pay directly to the developer, right? So there were, out of many people who did business, over 50 investors, we have this group of 5 who invested with a developer called Tiger. However, they defaulted. In developed part of the world, we know how this thing works. In Nigeria, you can drag people from now to tomorrow. Hey, I pay them money, they give me land. When in reality, you are defaulting, right? But you can't do that in Dubai, right? You default, you sign the document, there's nothing you can do. So the developer said to us, these people signed document and they defaulted. And so they lose their money. Now, when we heard about that, one of the things we did was we got them lawyers to even help them fight, these things. To say, okay, well, these people, this is what they said, but we've got a new lawyer. I remember I was in one of the lawyer's office one day, and we called one of the investors. And you need to see how he started shouting on me. By the way, Pastor Olumide, I don't know these investors, whether they are yellow, whether they are brown, whether they are purple. I've never met them, right? As we advertise the properties, they dealt directly with our staff and the agents of the developer, right? But when my attention is being called, out of integrity, okay, this developer has said this, we can help you get a lawyer. Maybe you can negotiate with them. but some refused to respond. We ourselves then say, okay, the representative of the lawyer is the one we know, is, a gentleman called Abimbola, right? We need to first do a disclaimer to say we are no longer having any transaction with this guy. And we did that. Pastor Olumide, you won't believe what happened next. The gentleman took that picture of disclaimer, took it to Dubai police, right? And said that his reputation, there's censorship. Dubai is not Nigeria. In Nigeria now, you can carry anybody's picture and start talking rubbish. In Dubai, you are in trouble. Before you know it, Dubai police said, I can't leave Dubai. That, I have no right to have done disclaimer. Disclaimer. I did not say he stole money. I did not say anything. I just say, hey, the company it was even the company's page to just say, hey, we no longer have anything to do with this guy. Since there were 5 customers that were referred to him, right, through the company he works for, and they said they didn't get their property. I don't think a credible company can do more than that. And we did that. Now, I'm showing this so that you understand how much, if it even affected us. And we didn't make a dime from these customers. Just integrity, we want to help. This same thing, we then say, okay, fine, we couldn't get, because Dubai said, look, you did not pay to the developer. GTES did not pay to the developer. The clients pay. The clients are the only one who can do a disclaimer. They are the only one who can directly challenge anything, right? And all these were communicated to the customers. We even went further to report to Interpol, to EFCC. This same case, right? And the same thing was the outcome of it. That, hey, this transaction happened in Dubai. These people need to go and face the customer, the developer. They didn't pay to GTEx. In fact, I remember the gentleman Bimbola was saying, GTEx is the one that wants to spoil his reputation, that we're the one taking it to heart, right? Because mind you, these people were dealing directly with him, right? We only it's like, you come to my estate now, you say, hey, Stephen is selling this estate to invest to that hotel, and then call Stephen, right? And then somebody, because you have a big name, right, is now holding Olumide Emmanuel rather than holding Stephen for something that it was, and you have direct relationship with Stephen. So everybody kept telling us, GTEx, you are going too far. Because these people did not pay to GTEx, they paid to this developer. And at that point, we knew our hands were clean. We've done everything we could for these customers, right? And they know the truth because they themselves have done everything possible, including going to freeze our accounts. Our lawyer, Femi Falana, had to challenge that in court. You didn't pay to these people. They swore affidavit, they paid money. No evidence that shows that they even did business with GTEx, right? But again, like I said, these are just free adverts that people keep doing for us. And it keeps exposing the level of integrity that is at play for us as an organization. So at least I hope I've answered that. We can take the next
One is land in Lagos and Nigeria. Maybe Lagos, Abuja, different. They say they bought land from you. They have paid until now. You have not allocated them their land. And every time they are contacting the office, nobody is answering them. The customer service is not answering them. So their money is tied down and there is no allocation. So are there people that have bought land from you that you have not allocated? Or is it that they have not finished paying or the land is no more available?
one. There's no such thing. No such thing. In fact, we do immediate allocation, and there's no company that push those things publicly like we do. We bring in celebrities, we make it very open, we even stream it. There's no such thing. In fact, every single property we have in Nigeria, we always buy more than we need because, like I said, half of it we are keeping for ourselves, right, for housing in future. And anybody who claim, so this is what often happen. You bought a land, with GTEx, the first thing is we send you your survey and your deed of assignment to you anywhere in the world. We're the first to start that in Nigeria, working with DHL. And we started this, I'm talking about since 8 years ago, right? It's delivered at no cost. Now, you are also into real estate. If I have survey, if I have deed of assignment, right, Pastor Olumide, do I still not have land?
You have land.
Ah. Survey of the land. Because these people are in diaspora.
Maybe it's physical allocation they are talking about. Because once you have allocated people, they have their and deed of assignment, they already have.
Exactly. You can use your survey to trace where they are located to you now. That's what a survey is. Because these are not people who are physically present in Nigeria, right? Which is why DHL sends their document to them anyway. The day you are ready to take possession, you use your survey. It's there. Use the coordinate, you trace your land, you get it, right? However, there are people who then say, I want fiscal allocation. The rule is that, have you finished paying development levy? We're not going to do fiscal allocation when you've not even paid development levy, because in some cases, we even need to do some filling of the road that will lead to where your land is now. Okay, so something has to be done. Okay, there's bills that has to be incurred, because some of these lands are also waterlogged. They are not just lands like that. And that's why development levy exists, because you then use it to fill. But sand, when you bought the land 10 years ago, used to be maybe 30K per trip. Sand is now between 120 to 150. So the real issue, like I said, is that development levy conversation, right? And we had done a press conference in December to explain it, because we just realized, and again, these are decisions by the new group managing director, because I no longer run the day-to-day of GTEx. And when you bring in professional, and I encourage many founders to do this, at some point you need to bring professionals to run your business, right? Sometimes what it does is that they become fair, right? They are no longer playing particularly when the person is not Nigerian, right? They are no longer playing our tiwa. They are looking at the records, they are looking at the finance. And our own group CEO had worked with Deloitte for over 20 years. He's a finance guy. So he's running the numbers, right? And he's no longer joking with anything outside. The numbers must make sense, right, for him. And for him was like, we can't continue to run a business that is not profitable. We understand the sentiment Dr. Stephen used to start this company. We get all of that. But he's exiting now. I run this show. I have exposure. I understand we're running a world-class business. We're in Dubai, we're in US, we're in UK. We can't keep running Nigerian business like we're running charity. The numbers has to be right? So for him, there are a lot of decisions he's taken that may be tough, but it's in the interest of everybody. Because you and I can see what the president said some days ago about that coastal road, because some of this real conversation is with that estate in that Ibejuleki one, right? And you can see how the president is being firm on those. And I'm not, some of what he's saying are things I have known 2 years ago. In fact, people told us, said the day the president comes this road, he will just say, to the right, to the left, we are taking it over. So, and those of you who do not develop on time, you have not fenced, you've not served, you've not done it, you make it easy for government to just take over the thing. So it's also in the interest of the customer, we're saying, pay your development levy so that we can fill fence and take possession. We already have our colleagues, which who no longer have any land at all in that entire coastal road. We are one of the few, because we got more than we needed. So even when they did the road, what now even happened was that the new road is just in front of our estate. And thank God we also didn't buy towards the setback that Mr. President is talking. And that's why when you know your onions, you know your onions. When we're buying that Ibejuleki, I remember some people would show us land. It has C of O, it's facing the water. I said, but I understand that the Nigerian law says 50 meters from the coastal road belongs to the federal government. So even if the state government gives you C of O, federal government has the right to come and collect it, which is the same problem with Banana Island. In Banana Island, for example, you have federal C of O, state government will still come again and tell you you must get their own state government C of O. But in reality, because it's coastal, is facing any water body, that is even lagoon. The federal government exercise right, and there's always that fight between federal and state. But the good news is, even when buying, we didn't buy the land facing the water, right? We were after the coastal road, which, and thank God, what some of them didn't know, we even use our own money. We've gotten register survey, it's been removed from acquisition now. We're about getting quotes for C of O for it. So there's so much that has been done. But I had a choice, and our management, when this coastal road thing started, do we take the part of our colleague that goes on TV, right, and talk about what happened? You know what I'm talking about. And we had that option. We could go on TV and say, Egbawa, right? They took our land, though, they demolished our fence, so interlocking. We could do that. We could play that victim card. That was option one. But my analysis is, first of all, I'm very visible, and I say my mind about politics and Nigeria. If I go that route, it would be like a direct attack against the government. Like, this guy has always wanted to fight, right? And he's just coming against the government. So that was option one. For me, option two was what we did, which is, what matters is that you protect the investment of your customers. Do you have enough land to give your customers? Yes. Have you made a loss of over 350 million naira? Yes. Can you absorb it? Yes. Move on. And that's what we did. But in hindsight now, I'm thinking maybe we should have blown it like others had. I mean, there's a woman, for example, who has taken even the minister head on. I'm sure you probably will have seen it. Every day posting, and maybe we should have done, because I also sense that people just panicked, right? Out of, because everybody else's land is gone. So this one that GTS is quiet, maybe their own land is gone. But we had communicated to everyone, your land is there. We even did videos of the drone to show half of the fence being, because it was like they now did the fence in the middle of our estate. We showed the remaining ones. Everything was communicated. But sometimes people just don't want to believe what you say. And I think, again, in hindsight, maybe we should have just gone and do our own drama too. Hey, we have lost money, maybe, but I didn't think that was necessary. And those who know me know I don't like playing victim. I don't think, this victim concept is. But the good news is that everybody's land is intact. In fact, many of those who were complaining were, the MD had to take them to site, and they all saw it, and many of them started laughing. But that development levy, you need to reduce, including a man who did video, right? Is now smiling on top the land. And but that development levy, your chairman is a rich man now. You should just write off the development levy. It doesn't work like that. And unfortunately, I'm no longer even in charge of day-to-day decision. I'm an investor like all of them. We have a group CEO who approved day-to-day decision. And I did that intentionally because I also knew that it's easy to blackmail me, right? And if we continue like that, we will not grow the Nigerian arm of the business. We will not.
Okay. Because of time, I think two or three more. The next one is a G-Vest or something, something. They said there is one that you did, that you were collecting money, promising people that maybe you did one app or something, that you were promising people money and promising them returns per annum or per something, and then that they have invested but they are not getting their return. Is there anything like that?
Oh Lord have mercy. Oh Lord have mercy. So we Lord have mercy. We have an investment arm called GVest, and is a SEC filed investment company in the US, and is a cooperative, the digital cooperative in Nigeria. And you know, and it's been running fine. We have been paying investors. I mean, you and I, thank God, we're in the same sector. We know how hard it is to do investments, and then with all that has been going on, to pay returns. What we have had, were situation by some people's returns were delayed maybe by 1 month or 3 months, because it's the sales you make from the land, right, that you pay. Now, when you have people defaulting due to economic issues, people are not paying what they need to pay due to one issue or the other. And we know what has happened in the last 2 years. You definitely have that liquidity issue to say, hey, well, give us some time, because we didn't keep the money in the bank. The money went to do business, right? And it has to come back for us to be able to pay investors. But the good news is that we have never defaulted. There are situations I'm aware where maybe there's a month delay, 2 months delay, but we have never defaulted. In fact, we have paid over $1 million in returns. What I sense, like I said, with the 18K story, everybody panicked. I remember somebody chatted me, and he was saying, hey, I did my investment, they've not paid me. So I said, can you send me evidence? When we looked at it, it wasn't even due. I said, did you go through the contract to see that it has a clause that your capital will be refunded 3 months after the initial period of returns? He now, oh. I said, but you've been going out to say they've not paid you. You check your contract now, right? So for me, I think when you trend over something negative, 18K, right? And then Punch newspaper jump on it to say EFCC wants people. You see, it creates that panic amongst your investors, and everybody begins to feel maybe something. I mean, but okay, has everything not died down now? Right? This is over a month after. Has it not died down? Haven't you noticed everything is calm now? Because typically it's just people panicking as a result of, and I think Nigerian media has to be careful. I'm going to be having a session with the media, in the next couple of weeks. We need to be careful, particularly how we jump on news as media, because you can cause companies a huge damage, right? We don't have any EFCC case. There's no EFCC looking for us. There's no EFCC warning anybody against anything with GTEx. But, because you want to jump in on a story that has gone viral, right? You put it, motivational speaker charge 18K, EFCC won. Now, I mean, let's put ourselves in the shoe of the investors. I will be worried now. There's no way, if I know I've invested, I will shout now, Egbami, EFCC, and we need to be careful with this day of social media, because fake news spread faster. And what's also unfortunate is that if anybody comes out now and shout and say, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel scammed me, unfortunately, nobody will say, show evidence, right? Everybody will say, nah, damn, don't, and so now waiting that they do. Without saying, first of all, there's a difference between Dr. Olumide Emmanuel and the company he owns. There's a reason the law made it clear. Okay? There are two different entities. Second of all, these companies have offices. We have office in Abuja. We have office in Port Harcourt. We have 3 offices in Nigeria: mainland, island. I mean Lagos rather. Mainland, island, and Ibejuleki. Right? Have you gone to those offices and they didn't attend to you? Right? But again, I blame this largely on newspaper like Punch, who just carried that news, because what he did was to create a panic. right? And remember, CBEX had just happened that season, right? And then Punch saying that EFCC was warning. I mean, what else do you need to panic than that? What else?
Okay, I think two more because of time. America. They say you are selling land in America for one ridiculous amount that you don't have land in America, and you are collecting money from all who have land in America, and which the land, because they say that in America selling land you are doing video carrying people around. Do you have land, and what kind of selling for the kind of money you are selling? So you need to explain.
Well, I, the person who sold land to me in America, you know him now, Pastor Olumide, but I don't know why you're asking this question. Okay.
Hey, you put it on. It's Akintayo heart to heart. Then she, that's why
The
you
person
explain.
the person who sold land to me in America, even Pastor Olumide Emmanuel knows it, he even spoke for you recently. You know, again, like I said, it's free publicity. And it's just an unusual opportunity. We have a beautiful office in Kerry, and anybody is free to come to our office in Kerry. I have a house, my own house. Bazonde was part of those who prayed where I live anytime in the US, in my house. Okay, we have countless of investment opportunities in the US, including houses we are selling in Alabama, houses in Atlanta. We have, in fact, the one in Atlanta, we even took celebrity there. Okay. And so the ones we have, so here is the thing. Ignorance, let me put it this way. Foolishness sounds like wisdom when the listeners are ignorant, right? Foolishness sounds like wisdom when the listeners are ignorant. So the particular land they are talking about is one of our best investment opportunity called Brookshire. Now, why is it one of the best? Elon Musk just announced opening his own gigafactory, in fact, less than 10 minutes from where our land is. Okay, and it's doing a $200 million, and the value has already gone up as we speak. Now, the in Texas, what we do, because that land is 99 acres, the tax on that land is supposed to be about $100,000. But by farming on it, so we lease it out to farmers. By farming on it, you won't believe it, we are paying less than $100. Okay, so the farmer pay you like $1 to $2 per acre as well. What he pays just pays the tax. Everybody is fine. We move on. Okay, and because it's land banking you're doing, over time, when you now get your permits, which sometimes can take, 2 years, 3 years, depending on the time. It takes a while to get building permits and all of those things. But the value keeps going up. And that's what it's about. Now, as to how much I sell my land, is my right now. Right? I'm the one that knows the value. The person investing is not complaining. So what's your problem? Right? What's your problem? If anybody thinks it's worth it, they buy. If they think it's not worth it, it's their choice. But when somebody is ignorant, the one plot of land in America, the person has not bought. As Olumide, what gets me angry is that when a nameless person comes on social media and talk, nameless person, not one achievement in their lives, you believe them against somebody that is enterprise has stood 17 years. Why who did us like this? I mean, do I need to come and be debating, right? Somebody can't boast of one land that they bought of their own. Then you want me that started a business with $10 17 years ago, that has built a global reputation, to now be debating with such a person so that we will now know who is saying the truth or who is lying. I mean,
You are an easier target now. Is it not you that is jumping from business class to business class, taking picture? started pepper them gang, and you want them not to be angry with you. Young suffering on the streets. You are now
But,
jumping
but
around.
when we were not doing that, Pastor Lumide, it's the same people that said we were not what were what, right? That were, I remember, I don't know, you didn't know our office in Ogba. I used to be very conservative. We had a very small office in Ogba, but somebody pays us for land today. 1 week later, he wants to collect his money because he says, he's scared. He said, I don't even wear designers. This guy, is about, we are not sure. So people will always talk, right? If you are doing real estate business, mind you, I don't own a church, so I'm not a pastor. If you own a church and you're a ministry, that is also an advantage, and it can of course be a disadvantage as well. But you are doing business, you're young. You have to also show, it's called social proof, right? And some of those showing was to also give confidence. People need to know I've invested with this company, right? Where is the founder? And I travel a lot because of our expansion. What I am doing, I'm one of the few persons doing it. I mean, you've done some aspect of it years ago, right? But as of today, I'm one of the few people doing what I'm doing. Where you're opening office in Dubai, you're opening in Doha, you're opening this. If you're also too quiet, right, it gives people concern, right? What has happened? Has something going wrong with the person? Is he in trouble? Right? So I think I'm not sure it's about pepper them gang or anything. And people don't know that I'm very those who know me know I'm very conservative, extremely conservative. Even with the so-called pepper them gang, I'm extremely conservative, right? But because we do real estate, there are certain things that are fair to just reflect, that at least give people assurance.
Okay, because of time, let me deal with one more. But while we are dealing with that, if you can get us a phone number or an email that people can contact if they have issues, because I don't want us to exceed just 1 hour because of I have other things to do too. So the final one I want to talk about is Stephen Akintayo University. They say you have one online university that you are using to do people. You will collect money. The code will not work. All the things the university promise is not there. They even said that I am one of the lecturer in the university, that my video is so Olumide Emmanuel is one of the lecturer in the university, that is a fake university who gave you university license, that you are collecting money. So can you talk about that university? They will wrap up with this. The final thing is they say your customer, that when you are collecting money, you people will answer them. Once you have collected money like this, they can't reach you again. So I will need you to give us a phone number and an email where people can now say, okay, this is the place to call low if you have any issue with JIT. So settle university issue and then give us contact so that we can close.
Well, again, first of all, we have an online e-learning platform, and we call it Stevacta University. And you have the right to call your portal whatever name you want to call it, right? That nobody claim is an academic university. It's a platform where you learn, and we have courses from Grant Cardone, Les Brown. Everybody's there. Your courses are there as well when we hosted you. And it's an automated platform, right? So you pay, you enjoy your courses, and you enjoy it. And the beautiful thing is that we have a community. Is a WhatsApp group, so everybody who join is in the WhatsApp group. And as I speak to you, nobody has complained in the WhatsApp group, right? That they didn't have access to anything. Even my own number is online, it's on social media, it's everywhere. So if you have issues, people are able to reach out to me in person. Except if you are rude. If you are rude, I'll block you. I do that, because my sanity is more important. And we must respect the fact that civil transaction does not give you the right to insult people and talk to them anyhow, right? But my own numbers are out there, and I will give it. I've never, one of the reasons why I make sure my number is available till today is so that anybody that has issues, because my business model is different from what most people do, right? Most people run what we call a one-man business, right? We have our employees are in hundreds. We make sure every business is run by somebody. There's an MD, there are leadership structure. So I'm able to be free to think of expansion, to work from outside of the business. But what I've also done is to also be an extra layer for support, for effective customer service. That's why my numbers are out there. So you want my number, is up, but WhatsApp is the only way you can reach me. Plus 443 790 3925. And you can email info@stephenakintayo.com. I will be able to always direct you to wherever needs to attend to you. But
So let's
yes, go ahead.
type
I've
the
posted in the
number
chat
out.
box. Have you seen it?
Okay, okay. Plus 1 443 790 3925. Right? Is that the number? Hello. So admin. Okay, that's it. That's it.
Com. They can even reach out to me. Whoever is in charge, the subsidiary in charge, will be able to connect them to it for 437903925.
Is that number and the email accurate? Did they type it right?
Yes, WhatsApp chats only. Very important that is WhatsApp chats. I don't pick calls. The best way to reach out to me is WhatsApp chat. The
Okay.
email as well. My team, my executive assistants have access to it, and they can always make it available.
Okay. What
Yeah.
is we can't, because we can't take questions from the public. So now you guys, you have the phone number, WhatsApp chat only, you have the email. So if there's any issue you have with Stephen Akitayo, any issue you have with GTEX, contact them, and let's learn to grow together. If you have any issue with anybody, I know the social media is now like a murky water, but let's try as much as possible to ensure that we'll go through the proper channels, we'll reach the company. If they have now done anything criminal, then we can now take it up legally, and then we'll be able to look into what needs to be done.
Exactly. And I want to
And
emphasize this. I want to emphasize this, Pastor Olumide, because we all need to speak up. First of all, there is a huge attack on the real estate industry. And I understand I mean, it's not GTEX alone, everybody. And the waters, like we said, is murky. Like if I come out and say anything real estate, everybody believes I'm right, even when I'm not always, maybe I'm hiding some truth. The first thing I expected is the leadership, and that's why I don't do all this politics. There are real estate bodies who needed to have done press conference to address issues of why do houses go higher? What are the issues people are having with inflation? What are the issues people are having with land? Just at least from developers' perspective, right? Because if we continue like this, right, it looks as if today is this person, right? Tomorrow, and it's a test, test this one, share this one. But there's a need for an holistic answers to people's concern, right? These are the challenges in the sector. These are the ones we can handle. That's number one. Number two, we also need to stop confusing customer service issues with crime, right? If I bought land, I felt they increased the price from what initially was supposed to be. That is not fraud. That is not crime. It's called civil. The meaning of the word civil means two fighting. The job of the law is to find a middle ground and then say, okay, that's why it doesn't carry criminal jail sentences. It's civil. It's issues that happen in the course of business, right? When we say fraud, it means somebody, hacked into somebody's platform, stole some dollars, If we don't clarify these conversations, right, and people keep doing this, I have bought properties in the US that I lost the initial deposit because I couldn't raise the balance. I did not go anywhere to shout the name of the persons involved, right? And in the case of Nigeria, you default, they've sent you mail. In fact, I did a show with Daddy Freeze, and one of our clients even told on Daddy Freeze, said, I was the one that said GTS should no longer send me mail when they were disturbing me on this development levy. I said, stop communicating to me, right? I will pay, but I don't want your mail anymore. So, but when you want to twist things and somebody is charging for coaching, you said it's CBEX. Some even claim I founded CBEX. You know, I mean, we can't just, it is well. You know, some of these things are very, but again, thank you for the adverts. One of the good news I want to share is one of our properties in the US finally got a building approval. And next month, we're going to start construction on it. And we want both the draggers, both them come. They couldn't do you know, my own case is not terminate insult. And when things like this happen, you just smile because you know what you are doing. And it's not everything you owe people explanation for, right? Those who are your investors are the people you have business with. And constantly, even in the course of this, all our clients are being called all over again. Conversations are being had with them. Like I said, some of those who even did video came to land. We're now joking about the same thing over, but I mean, people know what they are doing. This is bullying. It's just bullying. First of all, development levy. By the time about drag Steven, right? And there's nothing you can do because I don't have your development levy money to Sanfield, a land that they've done coastal road that is now 6 feet, right? So how? We have to raise this money to develop that land. There's nothing we can do, right? And if you like, drag my name from now to tomorrow. That won't change anything.
Well, I think we are done for today. So I wish you well, and let's continue to market, a difference, and make impacts.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I appreciate this. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.
Our broadcast for today. You have the phone number, you have the email. Our promo is still on, the birthday promo. 55 promo is still on. We are giving out 55 plots in 5 of our estate locations. So Madiba, Arizona, Madiba Prime, Dove Estate, Genesis Estate in Abuja, and Madiba Countryside City. So you can get a plot of land from any of those locations. And then if you are in Ibadan, I'll be in Ibadan tomorrow at the Jogos Center for a major conference. If you are in Abuja, the Kingdom Conference is coming up next weekend, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 13th, 14th, and 15th. So 13, 14, and 15, we have the Kingdom Conference. Myself, my anointed wife, and Apostle Selman. We will be there with the great Apostle Gabriel Okopi. So we're going to be in Abuja 13, 14, 15. And then I'll also be at the Family Worship Center, 2 services on Sunday, the 15th. So um, get in touch with us to buy into the land. The promo is still on all through this month. I think it's the 5th of July, so that you can buy into it. And then the Sustainability Summit is coming up in September. And then don't forget our TREM monthly real estate masterclass every last Sunday of the month. So by the last Sunday of this month, we're going to be having a 40th edition, and then we'll take it on and on and on. So God bless you all. Please, if you have any issue with any real estate company, go to the office, contact them, send them an email, go through the official channel. If they don't get in touch with you, then you can now begin to talk about going to court or taking legal action instead of us. Because every time we mess up the social media space with all kinds of issues, It messes up businesses for a lot of people, and it affects all of us one way or the other. So thank you very much. Real estate is a very powerful investment, and I pray that as you continue to invest, you will invest in the right companies, and then you will get good return on your investment. And together, we can build our nation. God bless you all. Bye for now.